When on May the 21st, 2019, the federal government of Nigeria broached the idea of rural grazing areas as a means of curbing open grazing of animals that continued to cause clashes between farmers and herders. Many Nigerians thought the plan to house nomadic cattle breeders would be accepted across the country. The plan, which was meant to provide necessary and basic amenities such as schools, hospitals, road networks, markets, and manufacturing entities that will add value to meat and animal production, has since been put on hold. Though many Nigerians criticize the RUGA project, describing it as a ploy to claim land across the country for Fulani herders, the governor of Zamfara state, Bello Muhammad, showed tremendous faith in the project right from the beginning. He saw it as a tool to reintegrate repentant bandits into the society. Special advisor to the Zamfara state governor on RUGA, Malam Abubakar Maradun, speaks on why the project was necessary.
It was conceived as a result of the incessant crisis going off, maybe which coming on daily basis between farmers and Fulani. And everybody knows what it means, because it has resulted in bloodshed, even after the deaths of so many people, loss of property, and even the human life. So that's why we feel, or the government feels, that migrations from maybe north to south in search of green pasture for the Fulanis, because that migrations is what resulted into mischief and what causes crisis. Sometimes it maybe arises as a mild crisis, but sometimes it will go violent to the fatal circumstances. That's why we feel the land is no more available, whereby Fulani can migrate from the northern part to southern part of the country. So we say, okay, what I want to do for this Fulani? Government says that, okay, let us transform them. Let us settle them in one place, so that there is no need for them to cater for them and to give them all what social amenities and all the facilities needed.
He said beyond providing the grazing needs of pastoralists, residents in the RUGA facility will be afforded the opportunity to learn new trades.
But the government is now trying to see that we have established a sort of skill acquisition center, so that if this Fulani, we can gather them and start creating a sort of awareness, giving extension services, that, okay, this is what you are going to do. Forget about your, this is what you are going to get, a sort of an extra income. Not that you have to go and sell your cow because maybe for a reason of maybe 3,000 naira or 5,000 naira. You now have a way of getting 5,000 or 10,000 naira to others without selling your cow, or as you are selling your sheep, or you are selling your cow. So that's why this acquisition center will consist of something like joinery and the carpentry and something like brick laying, something like tailoring. Tailoring will consist of even male and female. Something like homemade yogurt for their females, maybe for their milk now. Something like welder. Yeah. All these things, whatever we see, maybe this thing where you can generate income, will incorporate that in that RUGA, so that Fulani will be mobilized to learn that profession, to learn that trade.
Malam Maradun said it was envisaged that the project will cost 8.8 billion naira, but noted that due to the prevailing rate of inflation and global economic crisis, the cost has gone up significantly. Yet, he remains confident that the project will be delivered very soon.
It is initially estimated that the three RUGAs will cost up to 8.something billion naira. It is up to 8.8 billion naira, even for initial costing. But now it will be more than that, because due to higher rate of skyrocketing in the inflation prices. So nobody knows now it will cost. Even this one now, a lot of upward review, as far as the cost analysis is concerned, has been done. Already the upward, because price may rise today, tomorrow it will also rise, and next day it will also rise. So nobody knows what it will cost to make before the completion of that RUGA.
The people are wondering when this one will be completed and when they order to take off.
Very soon. Even last time we discussed with the contractor, and we told him that the government is not very much happy about the uncompletion of RUGA. Right from the inception, when the contract was awarded to him, he promised that maybe as soon as some logistics is completed, because as soon as some logistics is completed, he will embark on the construction, and maybe within the next 3 months, he will complete it, inshallah.
Just outside Maradun, the governor kicked off his RUGA project, brushing aside criticism and the cynicism that trailed the idea. To him, the RUGA project will promote harmonious relationship between farmers and Fulani pastoralists. The governor throws more light on why he opted for the project.
Yeah, the idea of doing the RUGA is when we initiated the dialogue with the repentant bandit. So they tell us their predicament. There is some things that they want the government to fulfill after the dialogue at that time, which they complained that most of their houses were destroyed either by Nsake or by the military. So they begged me that we should get them some place to stay, so that if they have a place to stay with their animals, and we should build them some facilities like schools, like veterinary hospitals, like religious centers, and other things within the RUGA, which we discuss it with both the security agencies, the stakeholders, the traditional institutions, and we come off with an agreement that if that should be the case, we shall do it in the 3 senatorial zones of the state, which we have started doing here in Maradun. And you went there, you see the level that we are, you see the quality of the job that has been done in that place. We give them 200 hectares of land and we build everything, including as dam in that place, including their grazing reserve, all within the RUGA, with police stations, with solar street light, with market, often unlocked shops, all inclusive in the place, with primary school, secondary school, with stadium, so many things we put in that place. That concept is for them to be comfortable and to see that the government is sincere on the dialogue so that they can stay in one place. And my reason for doing so is for me to not allow them migrating from one place to another. Because if you look at what is happening in the whole country, most of these Fulanis are from Zamfara state. That is the reality. They migrate from Zamfara to Birnangwari, to Kaduna, to Oyo, to most of part of the country, including up to Tribal state. So my mission is for me to maintain them in one place so that they should not be migrating from Zamfara to go to another state to cause problem. I have done this in good faith for me to bring them down and contain them in one area so that they should feel that they are part of the society. That is what entails for me to build the RUGA. And we continue doing this RUGA. You see how huge amount we spend in that RUGA. You see, and my intention is if we agreed, we completed this one, then we go to another zone and do before we come out and say, okay, we are out of the dialogue because most of them has gone back to their normal businesses, which the government cannot tolerate what they have done to us because we sincerely agree to do the dialogue with them. But some of them, go back and rejected the dialogue and continue the activities of banditry.
Do you regret coming up with dialogue for these folks in the first place?
No, I did not, because up to tomorrow, there is those that accepted the peace. And there are some of them up to now, they are not back to that activities. So we have reduced their strength, we have reduced the capacity of what they are doing. Because like now, even not because of those that accepted the dialogue at that time, you cannot come to Maradun and even go to that RUGA. But up till tomorrow, Maradun is in peace, and Maradun is at peace, and most of the local government is at peace. Because now, if anyone comes from another local government to cause problem as a bandit, those that accepted the initiative. Sometimes they used to kill those that used to come and cause havoc. So still, I did not regret about that, because up till tomorrow there is good people. It's just like Nigerians. Up to tomorrow you have bad and good people, and that is how it is. Everywhere you must find good and bad people. So we are still working with those that they have agreed and accepted the dialogue. So they are now with their communities. They can go anywhere because they have dropped off what they have, and up till tomorrow they are pursuing me to go ahead with the RUGA, but I want to see how reality they are, because we don't want a situation whereby after we give them the place, because you see we build houses for each and most of them. We have about 210 houses there, which we are going to give them free. That is the aim of doing the RUGA, including their traditional rulers that will help them. Yes.
The RUGA facility located in Maradun sits on more than 2,000 hectares of land. On the 8th of September 2022, I made the 1 hour 20 minutes trip from Sokoto to Maradun local government area of Zamfara state, to see the RUGA project meant for the Zamfara West Senatorial District. Malam Zailani Bapa, Special Assistant to the Zamfara State Governor on Public Enlightenment and Media, threw more light on why the Zamfara helmsman came up with the idea.
Communities they are terrorizing at that time. So when he came in 2019, he decided to initiate peace between the bandits, the government, and then the community. Now, series of meetings took place, and as part of the outcome of those meetings, the bandits said they have taken weapons against the communities because all the Fulani were not enjoying facilities, modern facilities such as water, treated water, such as schools, and so on and so forth. So His Excellency said, I am going to reciprocate that, and you are going to lay down your arms. So they agreed. For 9 months that time, there was no banditry in Zamfara state. People went about their businesses as a result of this agreement. So the bandits on their own part started laying down their arms. After stopping abductions and killings, they started laying their arms, and they surrendered over 1,000 AK-47. And not only AK-47, they have surrendered so many other assorted weapons and ammunition. A lot of them have repented. And the people they have abducted, they released over 3,000 people without any ransom being paid. Now, to reciprocate that, His Excellency said he's going to build a RUGA, modern RUGA for them, in each of the 3 senatorial districts to start with. So this one we are standing here is the first one, and as you can see, it is over 80% completed, and his intention is to create a settlement for all the Fulani who want to settle down, so that they can graze their animals without moving around, and they can enjoy all the modern facilities other people are enjoying, such as education, good water, and modern grazing facilities.
He also spoke on amenities at the Maradun RUGA facility.
And the facilities that are here are so many. First of all, we have a primary school, we have a clinic, we have a veterinary clinic, we have sporting facilities, we have police post here, we have rain ground and so many other, we have water canal that is surrounding the entire RUGA area, so that we will continue to have excess of water. And then we also have grazing area where all the Fulani who want to fat their cattle can now use the grazing area. And there are grazing area attached to every house where you can now also keep your animals there. And the intention of His Excellency is to bring a high-breed grass that will be imported, which will be all year round. This grass will survive the rainy season, will survive the dry season, will survive the hot season, the harmattan, all year round, so that the animals can continue to feed without moving around looking for either water or for the grass to feed. And this grass is very nutritious, and the intention is later there will be a factory here where we will have products of the animals that can be processed, like milk, like fat, like the beef, and so on and so forth. So this is the intention of His Excellency, and he is going to complete this project, and at the end of the day it will be the arrowhead for settling Fulani who want to enjoy modern facilities, modern education, and also modern way of living. This RUGA you are seeing is containing a prototype 200 houses that will be used by the Fulani who will now be recommended by their leaders to start staying. So any other person who wants to stay in this RUGA can now get a land and extend so that he can also build his own settlement and enjoy the facilities that are here. And the facilities that are here are so many. First of all, we have a primary school, we have a clinic, we have a veterinary clinic, we have sporting facilities, we have police post here, we have rain ground, and so many other. We have water canal that is surrounding the entire RUGA area, so that we will continue to have excess of water. And then we also have grazing area where all the Fulani who want to fat their cattle can now use the grazing area. And there are grazing area attached to every house where you can now also keep your animals there. And the intention of His Excellency is to bring a high-breed grass that will be imported, which will be all year round. This grass will survive the rainy season, will survive the dry season, will survive the hot season, the harmattan, all year round, so that the animals can continue to feed without moving around looking for either water or for the grass.
To ensure adequate water supply for its RUGA project, located 5 kilometers away in Maradun community, the Zamfara state government intends to channel water from the famous Bakolori Dam. The Bakolori Dam is this dam behind me. It was constructed some decades ago to boost economic activities and propagate irrigation farming in this area. Another aide of the governor who accompanied me to the facility tells me what excites him about the project.
From the beginning, Governor Bello Matoli, having seen the conflict between Fulani cattle herders and the farmers, he decided that let him find the root of the problem. And having sat with the stakeholders, he had a meeting with them, and they gave him some of the reasons. Some of the reasons are rural marginalization. They feel that they are completely isolated. All the social amenities, they are not benefiting. So Governor Bello Matoli decided that let there be the rural grazing areas in the 3 senatorial zones, 1 in each 3 senatorial zones. And as you can see, the project is vast, it's big, and he decided that in this settlement that he provided all the necessary materials needed for life, from schools, settlements, grazing areas, that is ranches, and everything that a herder needs. That is the motive behind the project.
Cattle needs sufficient water.
Exactly.
Is this RUGA settlement going to provide water in abundance?
Exactly. There is a provision made from the Baccalaureate Dam. There is a kind of a canal that is made from, that has been pulled from this direction up to all other area here. So the abundance of water is guaranteed. There's no problem with water here. As you can see, there are reservoirs, water tanks are everywhere. From here you can see about four tanks, overhead tanks, which are huge. Yeah.
So what other facilities are you seeing here that convinces you that cattle breeders who will stay here will have a swell time?
Well, one important thing for every herder is health of his cattle. There is a veterinary clinic provided, and that veterinary clinic is well equipped. As you can see, as part of the project, it will be equipped with everything needed for the cattle. And there is also hospitals for the people to take care of them, and there is a different kind of vegetations that will be provided for grazing. And these are perennial grasses that will be available and will be catered for at every time of the season. Thank you, sir.
I'm standing in front of the police post located inside the Zamfara West Senatorial Zone's RUGA settlement. The governor of Zamfara State made it a point of duty to locate RUGA settlements in the 3 senatorial zones of the state. This is the one for Zamfara West, and it is the first in the series of RUGA settlements that the governor believes will help us in putting an end to the farmer herder crisis in Zamfara State. 2 RUGA projects will also be executed at Gidanjaja in Zurmi local government area, as well as Rikwa in Mutunji district of Dansadao Emirate of Maru local government. The biggest benefit to the nation is the drastic reduction in conflicts between herders and farmers. With violence between herders and farming communities claiming thousands of lives across Nigeria, the importance of rural grazing areas like the one in Maradun cannot be overemphasized. In this modern era, roaming around by cattle herders is deemed unhelpful. The Zamfara state government will plant seasonal grasses, provide 57 prototype houses, vet clinics, mini stadium, and comfortable residence for leaders of the cattle breeders. This project is highly capital intensive, but Governor Bello Matawalle is determined and convinced that it is the way to go. It is the considered opinion of Governor Bello Muhammad Matawalle of Zamfara State that setting up RUGA settlements in the 3 senatorial zones of the state will put an end to perennial conflict between Fulani cattle breeders and farmers, while also improving rapidly the welfare of the Fulani cattle breeders.